And welcome in to Off Air with Amy. I'm Amy Wood. So glad you're with us because we have a great show planned because we're going to be digging into two important things. An inspirational young man who began giving back to his community at age 5. And we're going to take a look at the 10 years of success and what is ahead for him, and also how to motivate other young people to get involved in being a contributor to their local communities. Also, we have the travel season in the midst of winter. If you've ever been through a tough trip that's been messed up by the weather, let me tell you, you and I know what we're talking about. But even if you haven't had it happen yet in your life, it's going to happen, and you need to have expert advice. So let's pull in Betty Foster Cloud, who has had 50 plus years working in the business, and she understands what I just went through trying to leave Mexico on vacation in the middle of the big snowstorm and the ice storm that hit the East Coast. It messed up flights everywhere.
Traveling this weekend, Amy, of course, their flights are already booked. But if they are not, if they're traveling within the next week or so, it's just an idea maybe to get away, book the earliest flight you possibly can. Reason being, your aircraft is there from the night before and your crew is fresh. They're not going to run out of crew hours.
Okay.
Next thing to do is definitely download the app from the airline that you're traveling on and monitor it very carefully. If you see that flight has canceled, dial your airline immediately, then go stand in line for passenger assistance.
So do both. Like if you're at the airport, get them on the phone, but also go stand in a physical line.
Correct. Whichever one you get through first. It may be reservations because there's more people answering the phones than there is the one or two agents that are behind the counter.
But we did encounter, I know you were trying to help us with phone calls. I mean, there were hours and hours long waits to get through to somebody on the phone. So it might be worth your while to stand in that massive line.
I would do both. I would dial it and then I would walk right to the line. Or if you're traveling with somebody else, you're on the phone and let them immediately go to the assistant line and then you can join them.
What about keeping a good attitude? I noticed, some people are so hard on the people behind the counters and stuff when it is not their fault. They cannot, do anything about it other than try to help you. So are we better to kill the situation with kindness versus frustration and anger?
Yeah, hidden happy medium. I started my industry in the travel business in 1970 at O'Hare. I worked in Chicago for 13 years. I've seen it all. I've heard every excuse and I've heard every story. When the employees come to work in the mornings, they're already stressed out because they know that they're going to be under the gun. And you're 100% right. They are not in charge of maintenance delays. They're certainly not in charge of the weather. So, yes, lean towards being, I'm so sorry this is happening to you, but I really need your assistance. And it makes them understand that you understand what the weather situation is. And a suggestion I have, and this is a hard one for people to understand, limit your carry-on bags. Because if you have a gate change at the very last minute, you may be running from one gate to the other, much less trying to gather up all of your baggage. And most, I should say, not all, most are the ones will just check no bags at all because they won't get lost. It's a common thing. We're just going to keep all of our bags with us. And they're having 2, 3, 4 oversized bags. It's very hard to go from one gate to the other and running and carrying your bags.
When it comes to the biggest mistakes we make handling last minute changes, what do you think most travelers don't get or get wrong?
I think one of the first things is that they don't realize from the get-go, it's a very stressful thing in today's world to travel. Yeah. Business people travel all the time. I know you do a tremendous amount of traveling as well. The ones that don't travel often, they're stressed before they walk in the door. The best thing, get there early. You
Yeah.
can have your coffee at the airport. You don't need to have one more cup at home. Get there as early as you can and monitor your flight, because there's no better person that can watch out for yourself but yourself.
Oftentimes, the first indication is something that switches in your app. So if you're traveling and not having the app, are we making a huge mistake?
Huge. You must advocate for yourself. So have that app open on your phone. If you need to keep refreshing it, keep refreshing it. But on your phone will be the first place that you'll see that flight has been canceled. If it's delayed, don't get too terribly worried yet.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a case where I used this term the other day and someone didn't know what I was talking about. The holds of the aircraft doors freeze.
Mm.
So when I came down to Mexico, our flight came out of Fort Myers. You
Okay.
think no worries at all. It was 35 below zero wind chill in Chicago. Think of those poor people that are working on the ramp and they're limited. I
Yeah.
believe it's only 12 to 15 minutes that they can be out at a time. A bell
Wow.
rings or a horn, and then they come back in. When
Mm.
that whole doors freeze, they have a way, but it's going to delay possibly your departure. It will
Gotcha.
be on your app first of all.
And then you should sign up for the text messages too, because those also, I think I got 43 text messages in one day from the various things. The other thing I did, and I want to know if you think this is a good tip. Um, I went in, and you can, at least in the airline I was looking at, American, they were allowing you to go down and look at the aircraft that's coming in. So you could go in there if you clicked into that flight, and then you could sign up for the text alerts on that flight too. So you could know
100%.
if it got, canceled, and then you're like, oh no, we don't have an aircraft. So things like that, right? Like
100%
kind of
right.
getting all the
Absolutely.
info.
Yep, that's how I knew my flight outbound was coming from Fort Myers to
Hmm.
Chicago.
Got it.
And when we left Fort Myers early, and I could track it, I do Flight Aware, I'll do Flight Tracker.
Yep.
I will then be comfortable enough to know, okay, so the first leg is down.
Yep.
Crew were still fine with hours. That wasn't a concern. Chicago weather was my biggest concern.
Yeah.
But by having that app open, and you can advise for arrivals and departures, it's free of charge. They put your phone number, you put your phone number in,
Hmm.
and then you'll get a response back. You've now requested inbound flight number or outbound flight information. Very important.
Very cool. I love that.
AmericanAirlines.com, if that is the airline you're flying on, or
Hmm.
United, Southwest, whatever, it says flight status.
Hmm.
You can not only click on that, it will tell you where the inbound flight is. It will tell you where the inbound flight is coming from. And again, that's a huge, huge key. And if you've got checked baggage, I strongly recommend take advantage of air tags. You will always know where your bag is.
So
And that
getting
is
those air tags and putting them in your suitcase.
100%. I even have one in our carry-on bags. So if you happen to
Smart.
be in the ladies' room and you put your bag down and you rush back out and you forget it, you can go, oh my gosh, I know where my bag is. It's in that ladies' room, and go back and get it. So it's really worth that investment. They have them now for iPhones as well as Samsung.
Okay.
So it's just something, and you recharge them. I mean, they're good for a long period of time. It's certainly worth it. And you are being proactive, and that's the whole secret.
So what was your perspective on this last weekend storm? Was it
Mm.
one of the messiest in a long time, or what do you
No,
think in
not
terms of your experience?
Yeah, not the messiest. It certainly was. And you could see how long it's taking the airlines to get back to some kind of normalcy.
Hmm.
Part of that is crew hours. They're very, very careful that when your flight is due to leave, that your crew are not going to run out of hours if by
Right.
chance you end up in Des Moines instead of Kansas City. When they run out of hours, it is a tremendous headache, because not only do you have to call new crews in,
Yeah.
they have to have X amount of hours first before they have to report. It's just a snowball effect. No, I have seen snow falls when I worked at O'Hare.
Yeah.
There was one snowstorm in about 1972 or 3. We slept at the airport for 2 full days on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because at O'Hare, it's one of those funny airports that there's only one road in and one road out. So when you got 24 inches of snow, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yep. So we just always in the wintertime had extra uniforms there. You sleep in the one that you wore for the day and you put on a fresh one the next day.
Wow. I know you have weathered many a storm through the
Mhm.
industry. When it comes to travel and having a travel agent versus trying to figure this out for yourself, what is the extra cost would you estimate to using an agent versus not?
Okay. So for any traveler that is going on a cruise, for example, I charge nothing extra. So my
Huh,
commission comes back from the cruise line, the tour company, something similar to that. If it's a straight airline ticket, my rate starts at $30 a ticket,
okay.
depending on if they're making 4 and 5 stops between here and Athens and on the way back, or they're using frequent flyer miles. It can go up to about $100 a person. But where the biggest advantage is, I have 56 years in the industry.
Yeah.
I have a tremendous amount of wonderful travelers that I do business for years with. They were account executives
Hmm.
who had someone to help them with the airline tickets.
Yeah.
But now they're the ones that are traveling on cruises, uh, tours within Europe. Europe has gotten so extremely popular ever since
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
I think people are realizing, why are we waiting? They're no longer waiting.
Yeah.
My
People are just
bookings go
going.
all the way through to March of 2028.
Wow.
And I'm very pleased because I give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's just pick a $7,000 vacation, for example. I ask them for permission to bill their credit card 500, 750, $1,000 a month. It's like a car payment. So when the
Hmm.
final payment is due, they're all paid up.
That's awesome.
So you don't have that advantage when you try to do it on your own, number one. If you are traveling and think I can make all these arrangements myself, please do, but do not book non-refundable hotels
Oh,
because I don't care what happens, they will not give you your money back.
yeah.
And the people that thought they could do it on their own during COVID, they're the ones that came back to me and said, I can't do this. I can't wait 3 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
Where I do dishes at the same time and do my laundry, put my AirPods in and away I go. But I have inside phone numbers as well.
Yeah.
And when it comes to cruising, we have specials that are offered to agents that we can pass on to our clients. I always will have a fruit basket or flowers or something in a cruise cabin for a nice cruise that someone has booked on Viking or Oceania, Regent, some of the top ones. And they can't do that on their own, out of their own
Yeah.
pockets at least.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool. Well, I love it. What is your favorite part of being a travel agent for those who might, be thinking, hey, this might be a good career for me? What's your insight or advice at who is the right person for this job?
Someone that is interested in not only dabbling in the travel industry, but they want to make this their career. And I think what people may not understand, sitting on an aircraft is not the only job that there is in the airline industry. It could be maintenance, it could be catering. There's a whole group of people that make it available for you to sit into that seat. If you are going to go with a travel agent, I do believe that seniority makes a huge difference. I've been fortunate enough to do a tremendous amount of traveling in 56 years. I pass my experience on
Yeah.
to my clients.
Hmm. That makes
Where's
sense.
the best hotel to stay at in Positano?
Have
We
no
want to
idea.
go, see, that's why you would come to me because the important thing is, yes, the economy is very important, But when you're starting to plan your vacation, pick a budget.
Hmm.
And it has to be agreeable to everyone, be it husband and wife, girlfriend and girlfriend, spouse and partner, whomever. And a good, reliable travel advisor start that process. If you have frequent flyer miles, I am a thriller to say American Airlines right now is offering 80,000 miles to take out one
Wow.
of their credit cards. 80,000 miles.
Wow.
It's through that I've been able to work my way up to executive platinum, but all my insurance goes on there, all of my real estate taxes, everything. So when I do fly, and airline tickets open 330 days in advance. Domestically, you can book 2 one-ways. It's no more. International, you do have to do the round trip. So you count your days or look at the calendar at the date of your return trip. Not outbound, but your return.
When we come back, an inspirational story, we've got something good. What were you doing when you were 5 years old? Well, you're about to meet a young man who started a charity at 5.
Hey, everybody, I have this amazing young man with me now so you can see how impressive he is because I was blown away at the Martin Luther King celebration where you were a winner last year, Trad, for actually doing such a great job with community service that they thought you were the one to be acknowledged.
Yes, ma'am. That was a awesome. It was the Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Humanitarian Award. It was the second
Yes.
year they ever did it. A couple people nominated me, and I really appreciate that. It was an amazing experience. I got to get that award alongside Ruby Bridges. That was really cool. And then they invited me back this year to give a quick speech reflecting on that and reflecting on the theme for this year.
You are super impressive at this age, but it was when you were 5 years old that you created your own charity. How did you come up with this? Tell me about 5-year-old you.
So I was in the back seat of my mom's car on the way home from school, and I said that I wanted to start a holiday to help children in hospitals. So it just kind of bloomed off that. At first, we helped like Shriners Children's Hospital in Greenville, and we asked for some donations. Friends and family sent over toys and monetary donations, and then we brought that there. And then year after year, it just kept growing from that. And now we've expanded to include like all youth organizations for children in need, like advocacy centers, hospitals like the beginning, and kids clubs, places like that.
That's so cool. So you are really touching a lot of young lives. And I do believe your story can inspire a lot of young people because, I mean, describe to me how that felt that first time, if you remember it, that you went and gave to that hospital. I mean, was that transformational for you?
They let us go straight into every single patient's room and let them pick the toys off the carts, and they still let us do that to this day. And it's really
That's
just
cool.
the greatest experience. It kind of just explains like why you do that, and it really just gives you the motivation to keep going when you see their eyes light up with all these
Mhm.
toys and they get to pick whatever they want. It's a really amazing experience to be able to do that every year.
And when it comes to young people giving and giving back, um, it also can really set you up for a level of appreciation and gratitude in your own life, can it?
Yes, definitely. Once you get to see all the background and the process that comes with philanthropy, you really just have this newfound appreciation for it, to see how hard a lot of people work to make a difference in people's lives and in this world.
And also the struggles, the challenges, and the bravery of young people all over the place and the various challenges they face, right?
It makes you really grateful for your situation, just to see how many issues are in this world. And once you're able to help with that and see like the behind the scenes and how a lot of other people live, it really makes you want to make a difference. And it also makes you really thankful for your situation.
For sure. All right, talk a little bit about what you hear from other young people? I mean, you're obviously pulling in the community, but are you really pulling in young people? I know, for example, you have a new board that's coming in. Do you fill that with other young people, or tell me how you go about filling your board, and talk about the name of your charity and everything.
Okay, so yeah, we're the Giver Foundation. It started out with just me, like a long time ago when I was just 5, and then
Sure.
about in 6th grade, I started bringing some of my friends with me to help donate. It was really fun, and I decided that I really wanted to make this organization youth-led. So
Cool.
ever since then, we enlist the help of our friends, and it's just a really fun experience to see them also get to do philanthropy.
Yeah.
And then this year, for the 10th anniversary, we're installing a youth advisory board, which is a group of around 12 kids around my age, like grade below, grade above, same grade. And we are going to think of tons of new ideas for the 10th year and make a way better difference than ever before, or way bigger difference.
10 years. That's a big deal.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a long time and a really great experience. It's crazy to me that it is 10 years old, but I'm really glad that it's gotten to be this big and we've gotten to grow our outreach so much.
And I have to imagine you have to give a special shout out to your parents, because your mom was right by your side at the MLK event, and I could tell, she is so supportive of you. I'm sure your parents have been over the top.
They are the best. They really have supported me all the way through this entire thing, the whole process. Our living rooms have been completely filled with donations. My grandparents, like everywhere we have a space in March, it is just full with boxes. And I really thank everyone for helping me do that and just supporting me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't do it alone. You have this foundation, and also you can't do it alone in the sense of making it credible to people, right? Without the Spartanburg County Foundation's assistance. I know that's the office you're sitting in right now. They've backed you really well, haven't they, in terms of making sure that everybody knows all the money is going to nonprofits, and this is really making a difference in the community.
They're really great. In 2022, we partnered with them. They've just been so supportive, gotten us a lot of exposure, and I really thank them for that. And just giving us all these opportunities in Spartanburg, they make a huge difference, have all sorts of connections. It's definitely helped us grow.
That's so cool. So, what are the challenges you face moving forward beyond like getting out of school and going to a great college and all the rest?
I would say some of the challenges is deciding like which direction you want to go, because you can keep this within a single community or you can grow it as large as possible. And there's just a lot of decisions to be made down the road of like what paths you want to take and what direction you want to put this organization in, because there's a lot of different specialties you can do. But right now we're definitely keeping it broad to make the biggest outreach possible that is just children in need in Spartanburg County.
How have you evolved in terms of, because you sound like a business guy, you know what I mean? Like you're running an organization, you're making these plans, you're having board meetings. But how have you evolved? I mean, from the beginning of probably a more mom and dad focused help to when you kind of really stepped in and have learned, it sounds like you've learned so much.
I have learned so much. This has really been my passion throughout my life. So many mentors have helped me with experience in philanthropy, and they've really just helped me learn about the process and everything. And like I said earlier, it really just makes you so grateful for the current situation you're in. And it makes you so grateful for philanthropy and all the hard work that people put in. And it really just wants you to make a difference more. There's so many different experiences within this organization that really just kind of give me my why and give me more motivation to keep going.
And do you need help from people beyond the advisory boards and committees and all of that? Do you need just volunteers to show up and carry presents over there? Or, I mean, how much help do you really need?
This year is going to be bigger than ever before. Last year, it was barely attainable to be able to do it with the space that we have, and this year we're going to have to use like U-Hauls and things like that.
Wow.
But I'd say the main thing that we need from people that are from people other than are already in this organization, really just exposure to promote our cause, like social media, news, just like you're doing. This is really what helps us grow our organization and reach more children. So excited about this youth advisory board. This is going to be my favorite part of this 10th year. It's really my main focus because I want to help this organization be completely youth-led and really just involve so much youth in philanthropy.
Trad is incredible. I can't imagine what he'll do in the future. Stay with us. We will have more Off Air with Amy next week, and I'll see you soon on the news. There's something comforting about experience. It prepares you, makes you wiser, ready for anything. That's why 3 decades later, I still love to keep you informed. Your trust is everything.
Watch Amy Wood on 7 News. Weekdays at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
We want to get to that immediately.